We're going to the airport to go to Washington.
We never stretch before. So much going on.
I'm actually just gonna film this guy. We have ascended. What's up, YouTube?
Make it. Just died out there.
Get that shot. Emerges from the birth canal. He was scared of heights. The ninjas latched onto the wall.
That's fine.
Good job.
What?
We'll just have just walk and that's
That's what ninjas do.
This is not like ninjas do.
Totes what ninjas do. Now we're on our way back down. Danny's wife's making us a big old Thanksgiving lunch. That's where we're headed now. Oh.
Did she even know that? Because I just had pneumonia. Yeah, that's true.
You guys can see the very first Starbucks that, what's his face? Howard Schwartz started. Thank you. So good. Shakerado Bianco. Shakerado Bianco. Cheers.
But everything is like, you can only get it here.
Now we're headed to Mike's place. Fish market. Coming to the fish market for me really just means that I get to try new and interesting kinds of cookies.
This is the best one.
They're gonna think you're robbing us. I was like, no, this is my jacket. I already had it.
Hey guys, hope you've been well. Hope you enjoyed that little compilation snippet video thing that I tossed together. As you could probably tell, I had a weekend in Washington, visiting some friends. I got a chance to visit some family I had out there too, and just had a good time hiking, outdoor nature, talking gear, eating good food, and hanging out with friends. Did I say hanging out with friends? I don't know. Made some new friends. Part of that trip, I met a guy named Jay. He was out visiting, kind of just a group. Like some people flew in from out of town, some people lived there. He taught me a little bit about Adobe Premiere, just like the basics. I taught myself a little more on the flight back home and put together this compilation. So if it's kind of janky and there's kind of some weird elements, like it was kind of just a learning thing for me. So don't be too hard on me. But like making the text stick to places and rotate and stuff, I'm not trying to make it look like an ad. I just always thought that stuff was cool and wanted to learn how to do it. So typically when I learn how to do things, I learn how to do them on the job. So when I'm making a video, I'll learn how to do it. And since I learned how to do it, I just threw it in the video. Anyways, hope you liked it. But what's a traveling video if I don't talk about some gear? So I had gear in this video that you saw. I got some new gear. I got this hat from an Arc'teryx store in Seattle. It's cool. It's all gray. It's a flex fit. It's like a heather gray color. I like it. And I kind of like the muted. It's more, I have a big light on me, as you can tell from the rings in my eyes. So it's making this logo pop a little more than it really does. It's a little more understated, which I like. And let's just talk about some of the gear that I used. So you guys know I hike quite a bit. So here's a pair of boots. I live in Colorado. Sorry if you get sick of hearing that, but if you're new here, I live in Colorado and I hike a lot. I do a lot of winter hiking and stuff. Probably will do more hiking than I've ever done this year. So I wanted a pair of just serious heavy duty waterproof boots. I hike a lot in the summer with low cut shoes. Salomon's, I use the XA Pro 3D Ultras, I think, and Speed Crosses I really like. But for winter, you really want something a little higher, either to use with gaiters or to use with snow pants or something like that. And these, everybody talks about them being the most bomb-proof boot pretty much out there. And I just picked up a pair. This is the Forces pair. I picked it up from Tactical Distributors. Forces is kind of special. They're even more hardcore than the normal ones. They don't have bright colors or reflections. There's some other little things about them that make them better, kind of, but really they're kind of designed for special operations type teams. But yeah, I got the Forces, so these are awesome. I'll probably do a review of them in the future. I haven't had a ton of time with them, so I don't want to speak about them too early on. I did also pick up a new jacket. Oh, so the Forces, they're pretty expensive. People will complain about the price, but it is what it is. It's high quality stuff. This is the jacket that you probably saw me wearing most of the video. It is also an expensive piece. This is an Arc'teryx jacket. I don't know if we're getting focus here. Anyway, it's an Arc'teryx Leaf Alpha LT. So it's really just a shell. And I really wanted just a heavy duty, hardcore waterproof shell for hiking because I like to layer in Colorado. Sometimes when I go to places like Washington where it's not that cold, but it's raining, it rains all the time, a rain shell is good. And I didn't really have a nice one, so I wanted to use it both for hiking in the snow, layering, or hiking in the rain when it's not as cold. So that's what I went with. So that way I could be warm with layers, or I could also use it in warmer weather versus getting something like a really warm weather waterproof jacket, which I have some of those. So I wanted a shell. That's another piece that's really expensive though. So, but if you just want the best of the best stuff, worth checking out. I'll link to these two things as well as everything else I talked to down below. As you can tell from the jacket probably, I'm going through this OD kick. I got peer pressured into couple of the guys when we went to the REI flagship store. We picked up this OD green little Yeti cup. It's cool. I just got it, so I haven't used it a bunch, but I have other Yeti products. And then I forgot to bring my water bottle with me. You know, you always see me with my water bottle. I bring it everywhere. I have a bunch of water bottles, but this water bottle was at a store, and I love orange and I love OD green, and it's like this soft touch material, and it feels great and it looks awesome. So I picked that up, and I'm just talking about random gear because I like gear and I think you like gear. So I'm just going to talk about stuff I got. Brought my iPhone 10 on the trip as well. Took quite a few pictures with it. I don't know if we're getting focused. It doesn't, maybe we are. So iPhone 10. Comparing it still to the Pixel 2 XL. This is a weird skin. I don't really like it, but I've been too lazy to change it out for something else. Pixel 2 XL. So I'm still comparing these. Still continue to be blown away by the Pixel 2 camera. The iPhone camera is good as well, and I love the size of it. So it's still a toss-up. I still way prefer Android. I really feel like iOS doesn't do as much as I want, and the things that I do want to do, it takes forever to get there, and I don't know. I don't love iOS. I've been really trying to get into it. I love the iPhone 10 though, as far as hardware is concerned, but Pixel hardware is pretty amazing as well. They just released the saturation update on the screens to make it very, very poppy, even a little too saturated for my likes maybe, so I might bump it down. Anyway, I'll probably do an iPhone X or comparison or something video coming up for all you techies out there, so stay tuned for that soon. Also, if you do have an iPhone 10 and you're looking for just like, I'm using my other lens that just sucks at focusing, this 20mm. So I'm using this case, which is just the thinnest case that's available, so it won't protect it from like big drops really. It's for lighter drops and scratches and stuff, but a minimal case, and I love minimal cases on phones. So I'll link to this if you have a phone and you're interested in it, if you're wondering, because I'm showing it in this green case. They have gray and black and stuff if you're not into the green, but I'm kind of into the green. You know, it's not an OD green, but it's kind of in the ballpark. So like I said earlier, I was editing a video on the plane. I got a new MacBook Pro. This is a 15-inch, the newer model with a touch bar and stuff. And I don't know, some of you that are techies and follow me know that I have a Windows laptop and a MacBook Pro, an older MacBook Pro, 2014, top of the line one. But I didn't use my MacBook Pro for anything except iMovie. So I had this nice Windows laptop and a pretty nice MacBook Pro, and only used the MacBook Pro for iMovie. Anyway, I wanted to switch back to one laptop, so I got a new laptop and I'm selling my old 2 laptops. I don't know why I mentioned that other than just to show my multicam. People always ask, where'd you get that skin? Where'd you get that wrap? It's not really a wrap. It's multicam 3M vinyl that you buy by the sheet, big sheet of it, and I use it to wrap all kinds of stuff. I use it to wrap my Tacoma grill, which I'll do a video on later. So if you're wondering, that's what I use to wrap the front and back of my laptops. So I'm using that, but the funny thing is, that's what I was getting at. The ironic thing is I got this because I'm like, well, I use iMovie, but I can work on a Mac. I still have a Windows desktop as like my primary machine. But the ironic part is I bought that because I was gonna keep using iMovie, right? And then this weekend I used Premiere, which I could have done on my Windows laptop and my desktop. And now I'm probably not gonna really use iMovie anymore once I get fully comfortable with Premiere. So then it was kind of a stupid buy, but I've already kind of used it and marked it up and stuff, so I'm gonna keep it, which means I'm gonna sell my old 2 laptops. I don't usually do this, but just because they're wrapped in multicam. If you're interested in a 2015 or mid 2014 top of the line MacBook Pro 15-inch with Retina display, immaculate, already wrapped, hit me up. I'll be selling this, and I don't usually do this, but just because it's wrapped, and you guys will appreciate the multicam more than like a Craigslist user. If you want this, I'll give you a deal cheaper than they're going for on eBay. Shoot me an email, mike@llod.us. I'm also gonna be selling also multicam black wrapped. This is an MSI Stealth, another 15 point something inch high-end Windows laptop this time, and it has a 1060 GTX in here and an i7 quad core, so it's a beast of a laptop, but still thin and svelte, which is why I bought it. Anyway, I only mention this isn't gonna be a regular thing. My channel's not a garage sale or anything, but just since these are wrapped in multicam, if you're looking for either of these laptops, hit me up, shoot me an email, I'll give you a good deal. mike@llod.us. And while we're on it, why not? Because I was just using these to edit. These are the headphones. I think you probably saw me pick them up at TriggerCon in Washington, and it reminded me of it. So I've been using these. These are wired headphones. I use these puppies, super high quality wired headphones, mostly when I edit movies, because I usually use wireless headphones at the gym and stuff. But, I wanted to mention that because all the modern phones are losing their headphone jacks, which is part of the reason I went to wireless. Also, I just don't like wires at the gym. But your high-end, well, all your MacBooks, I think, are we gonna focus here? Maybe not, I don't know. But we still have a headphone jack on MacBooks, MacBook Pros anyway. I'm not sure about regular MacBooks. So I usually use wired headphones when I'm editing on a laptop, because if I use my Bluetooth headphones, sometimes there's weird connectivity issues, or I gotta like turn Bluetooth off of other devices, or sometimes like the audio syncing is off with the video with Bluetooth lag, so I still like to use wired headphones when I'm editing video on a computer. And just because I'm talking about all my gear, I guess, these are what I've been using lately. And why not, while we're at it, talk about one other little gadget. So old MacBooks, I think like 2015 and older, have MagSafe power connectors, which was one of my favorite features of MacBook Pros. But the new ones are all Thunderbolt USB-C, which I'm not a fan of. It means you have dongles for everything, even like a regular USB, SD card. I like my old MacBook Pro because it has an SD card reader built right in. And shooting a lot of video, SD card, I still use SD card. It's still the most convenient way to transfer stuff from my camera onto my computer. But anyway, MagSafe. They sell these little things. Let's try and get some focus here. These little nubs that you plug into the port and just leave it in. And then they have this connector, and it turns into essentially a MagSafe connector. Check that puppy out. So now if you trip over it or something, comes right off. Anyway, it doesn't work quite as good as a native MagSafe, but works all right. I'll link to that too if you're into it. All right, I think this video will have done good to appease all of you guys that are into the rambling videos, and it'll appease you gearheads out there that are always wondering what kind of gear I'm using in videos and stuff. And I like talking about it. So it's a triple win for those of you that are into it. And for those of you that aren't into long videos, hopefully you stopped around the 3:30 mark when like the fun video was all wrapped up. Okay guys, as always, leave me comments below, thumbs up this video if you liked it, get subscribed to the channel if you aren't already. Christmas is coming up. I was thinking about doing another Christmas ideas video. I did one last year that was really popular. People really liked it. A lot of wives and stuff emailed me and said, thanks so much for making the video. You made my life so much easier. So I may do one this year. Let me know your thoughts on that, as well as not just your thoughts on it, but if you have a great Christmas idea, gift idea, and usually I try to do like mostly cheaper stuff, like under $50, but I'll do some higher, more expensive stuff. But if you have great gift ideas for the tactical guy, leave comments below letting me know like the product that you're thinking of, and maybe I'll get that into the list, because things that I'm into you're into most of the stuff I'm into, but I may miss something is all I'm trying to say, some really good items. So if you have anything, let me know down below. And it may be something I already thought of, and it may not be, but you never know till you comment. All right, guys, take care.